Good, happy Saturday evening, May 16, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday evening, so let's begin. First up, COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. Let's take a look. There are 3,464 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 1,432,045 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 159 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 335 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 86,851 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows you where current cases of COVID-19 are in towns and cities of New Hampshire. Manchester, 513. And this shows you where total cases of COVID-19 are in towns and cities of New Hampshire. Manchester, 796. Let's take a look at these three charts here. This chart here shows you new cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases in the orange, new hospitalizations, and in the red, deaths. This chart here shows you current cases in the purple, current COVID-19 cases, and in the orange, current hospitalizations. This chart here shows you total positive COVID-19 cases, and in the orange, total hospitalizations, in the red, deaths, and in the blue, recovered. This chart here shows you by age group. This chart here shows you by female and male. This chart here shows you risk information. This chart here shows you race/ethnicity of cases. This chart here shows you percent of New Hampshire population. And your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, and difficult breathing, how it spreads, and prevention tips. Powerful storms topple trees, cause outages in southwestern New Hampshire. Take a look at this photo here. As you can see, crews clean up tree damage on Route 124 in Jaffrey on Saturday. A powerful line of storms toppled trees in communities across southwestern New Hampshire on Friday night. Winds knocked down trees in communities including Swansea, Hinsdale, Winchester, Keene, and New Loudon, according to damage reports from the National Weather Service. In Jaffrey, multiple trees fell on a stretch of Route 124, causing some power lines to topple. Crews were still cleaning up Saturday, and a portion of the road remained closed. Take a look at this Facebook post from the Jaffrey Fire Department. No significant structural damage was reported. Few hundred residents were still without power Saturday afternoon. 113 new COVID-19 deaths reported in Massachusetts. 1,512 new cases confirmed. The Massachusetts Department of Public Health confirmed 113 new COVID-19 related deaths across the state Saturday, bringing the state's total to 5,705. The total number of confirmed cases rose to 84,933 after 1,512 new cases were reported by state officials on May 16th. To date, 448,000 89 tests for the virus have been conducted in Massachusetts after 12,410 new tests were reported Saturday. One new death reported in Maine with almost 50 new cases. The Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Saturday announced 45 new cases of coronavirus and one new death. The 45 new cases bringing the total number of cases to Maine to 1,648. Meanwhile, 171 of those cases were classified as probable. The number of confirmed cases is likely an underrepresentation of the actual amount of cases in Maine, since not all individuals are being tested. A total of 70 Mainers who tested positive for the coronavirus have died. At least the death is a man in his 90s from Cumberland County. The Maine CDC said 1,012 people have recovered from the virus, an increase of 19 from Thursday. Taking away reported deaths in patients who have recovered, there are 566 active cases compared to 541 on Thursday. Coronavirus news. Beach badge sale draws large crowd to small New Jersey shore town. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC7 and why.
Owners, people that are struggling right now, including the painters we welcome into our homes. So while you're inside, if you can, hire a painter to do some work outside. Let's keep these hard workers working.
And here is a live look at Belmar Beach. The area, got some people out there enjoying the sun. In preparation for Memorial Day weekend, hundreds of people waited in line to purchase seasonal badges that went on sale this morning. We have team coverage on the coronavirus pandemic. We begin with Eyewitness News reporter Naveen Dhaliwal.
Beach season on the Jersey Shore is about to open on time.
We wanted to make sure that we actually got our badge.
Here in Belmar, nearly 1,000 people lining up in the sunshine to ensure they get their pass, and excited to learn the beaches will be open for Memorial Day weekend with strict social distancing guidelines.
I just hope everyone listens, because it's a terrible time right now, and we all have to do what we can so it'll get better.
And to allow more people on the waters, today Governor Murphy announcing starting 6 a.m. on Sunday, fishing charters and boat rentals back in business.
Our charter boat captains and watercraft rental businesses can begin preparing their vessels for folks starting tomorrow morning. Even with social distancing, we are confident that everyone can have a safe and memorable summer.
That, as more than 1,200 positive coronavirus cases and more than 100 deaths reported today, Murphy says we still aren't out of the woods, but some promising numbers.
Across the board, as you can see here, every metric we have followed is showing us that we can move forward. You've got new hospitalizations, patients in the hospital, patients in ICU beds, patients on ventilators are not just down dramatically from the peaks, but they're down meaningfully even over the past couple of weeks.
And as part of the CARES Act, a federal relief fund, New Jersey Transit getting $1.4 billion to continue services for essential workers on the front lines.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Redskins wide receiver Cody Laketimer arrested on gun assault charges in Colorado. A newly signed wide receiver for the Washington Redskins is facing felony charges of assault after being arrested early Saturday morning in Douglas County, Colorado, according to ESPN. According to police reports obtained by ESPN, Cody Latimer was arrested after police responded to reported gunshots inside an apartment. The police report says that a witness heard arguing and what sounded like gunshots in the apartment. Deputies say they found 3 individuals in the apartment at Zenthny Martin's apartment, one with minor injuries unrelated to a gunshot. ESPN said that Latimer, 27, is being charged with felony assault in the second degree, menacing an illegal discharge of a firearm, and misdemeanor charges of probation, use of a weapon, and reckless endangerment. Latimer posted $25,000 bond and was released later Saturday morning. Latimer, a wide receiver, joined the Redskins in March after 2 years with New York Giants and 4 years before that with the Denver Broncos, who drafted him in 2014 out of Indiana University. A Raleigh's man's design for the new normal of COVID-19 safety while shopping and dining out. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC 11, Raleigh, North Carolina.
To connect with those you love. Keurig, brew the love.
Yes, Steve, look, we know we are getting closer to a day when these restaurants will be back open again for dine-in customers. Hair salons, other businesses will be free to invite their customers back inside, too. So what this Raleigh graphic designer has come up with is a universal way for us all to know the level of COVID protection inside.
We're in print production because we're believing that we're going to sell and make these available within the next 10 days.
Your Raleigh brand expert Michael Brunson ready to roll the presses on his idea for businesses to communicate to the public it's safe to come back after the COVID shutdown.
Everyone's kind of scrambling right now to try to figure out how to do that. We wanted to be able to help small businesses and nonprofits, and for that matter, any business.
So like those percentage scores a business gets from the health department, Michael's COVID-19 safety posters are designed to hang in the windows of businesses. He's built mock-ups for Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill stores using the United Nations recognized symbols for face covering, social distancing, temperature checks, and sanitizing. By each symbol, there's a box for a business to show what staff and customers are required to do upon entering.
And what we do is we provide the establishment with 4 check marks they would place themselves into the box that is appropriate for their establishment. Not only the staff, but also their constituents that are coming in. This communicates to them the levels of protection that the establishment is taking.
Michael's company, University Print, nearly 20 years old now, and earning a reputation for building brand concepts for small businesses. And with so many businesses, large and small, on the brink because of the pandemic, this may be his most important branding effort yet. What's the brand here?
The brand specifically is Your City Cares. And we really care about your coming in as a client, and that we also care about you as a staff person.
So Michael is pitching this idea right now to various chambers of commerce across the triangle, trying to build some interest. And his website, the C19store.com, just launched tonight for businesses, individual businesses, to buy these signs. And he's pretty confident the idea is going to catch on. He's got designs for 30 different cities with 500. He's printing 500 posters each. And that's just the start. We're live in Raleigh tonight. I'm Joel Brown, ABC 11, Eyewitness News at 10.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Major crash on Florida's Turnpike south in Palm Beach County. Take a look at this photo. As you can see, this photo of the crash scene. A multi-vehicle crash has occurred on Florida's Turnpike south before mile marker 117 near West Indian Road. At this time, all southbound lanes are blocked. If possible, seek alternate routes. For the WPBF 25 News interactive traffic map, click here, and we will share this link with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page after this broadcast. Coronavirus pandemic. After offering COVID-19 tests to all, Los Angeles still has thousands of unused kits. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC 7 California.
Network and the best prices. Welcome to T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network.
As increasing numbers of Southern Californians are getting tested for the coronavirus, health officials are gathering more important data that's essential in determining the scope of the infection rate. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes is live with more on those efforts underway in L.A. County. Rob?
Yeah, the city of Los Angeles and L.A. County taking different approaches when it comes to mass testing. The city now giving out free COVID-19 tests to whoever wants it. The county today, however, is saying that makes no sense.
In the battle to flatten the curve, political leaders say getting the country back to work depends on 3 key words.
Testing, testing, testing.
The city of Carson opened the testing floodgates earlier this week by offering free COVID-19 tests to anybody, even if they weren't showing symptoms of the virus. And yesterday, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti followed suit in a big way.
Los Angeles will become the first major city in America to offer wide-scale testing to all of its residents, with or without symptoms.
Garcetti says the testing will also be available for LA County residents, but only by appointment at the 8 testing sites in Los Angeles. And frontline workers or people showing symptoms are prioritized. As you could tell by the jaw-dropping line outside Dodger Stadium's testing site today, the available slots go quickly.
You have an appointment.
There are more than 35 testing sites across the county, but county health officials say they are not opening testing to everybody.
As of right now, there is no scientific evidence that would clinically indicate a need to test low-risk, asymptomatic individuals.
LA County has expanded testing to also include essential workers, people over 65, and residents and staff of nursing homes, long-term care facilities, and correctional institutions.
The goal and purpose of testing in reopening is not to solely focus on the number of tests being performed. We also need to ensure that we have a sufficient number of tests available to be able to respond to outbreaks and other situations.
Now, county officials say they worry people who test negative may get a false sense of security. You have to remember that testing negative now does nothing to protect you from catching the virus at any point in the future.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New video released in the Ahmaud Arbery murder case. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
We report again tonight on the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery. This case is perhaps a sign of the times because so much was caught on tape, including the killing itself. Now more video has surfaced, and it offers clues about why Ahmaud may have walked through the construction site just moments before he was shot. Here's ABC's Steve Osinsami.
The Georgia family who owns the home under construction that's now part of the investigation into the shooting of an unarmed young black man a block away is now sharing video after video, some showing this unidentified person who began visiting the property in October and took nothing, who the homeowners now believe may have been coming onto the property for water. And these security camera videos showing a white couple showing children from the neighborhood. All kinds of people who the homeowners tell us were looking around, took nothing, didn't raise the neighbors' suspicions, and certainly weren't killed weeks later. Travis McMichael and his father, Greg, a former police officer, are charged with murdering 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery, seen here being killed in the street on February 23rd in Brunswick, Georgia. They told police they thought the young man was, quote, the suspect from the break-ins, and after seeing him here, 2 doors down, walking around the open construction site, they tried to make a citizen's arrest. The father's lawyers spoke out today.
The truth will reveal that this is not just another act of violent racism. Greg McMichael did not commit murder.
And let's bring in Steve Osten. Tell me, Steve, the suspect's lawyer claims that there's exculpatory evidence in this case that might clear his client. Do we have any indication of what that might be?
They're claiming that there is another video, a video that they say shows the truth of what happened on February 23rd, the day that this young black man who was unarmed was gunned down in the middle of the street. They're not clear as to who recorded that video, what part of the confrontation this video shows. I did, Lindsay, however, check with state authorities who say at this point they are not confirming whether there is or is not a new video and whether it's relevant.
And if there is this new video, Steve, that they say holds the truth, have they suggested what that truth is?
Well, one of the things they're saying is that their client, which is Gregory McMichael, the father, isn't guilty of murder. It sounds like what they're sort of indicating is that he may not have been seen on tape, and he's not seen on tape directly shooting this young man. And so they're trying to argue that a murder charge for him is inappropriate at this point.
Okay. Steve Osten, thanks so much for your reporting, as always.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for joining us for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. And as always, be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night and bye, everyone.